So now that we have completed the data cleaning part, the next thing that we have to do is create the visuals. How do we create the visuals? If you see the data set, in this column, we can see this has got performance evaluation of the style advisors. So what I will do, I want to, let's say, find out the maximum number of high performance belongs to which region. What I will do, I will simply select the zone first. So before I select the zone, I need to select the column chart. Let's say I want to do it using the column chart. So I'll select this column chart and select this zone option. Then what I need is performance column. So I will select performance column and again I'll click this checkbox. Okay. Now if you see the if you see by default it has gone to this performance uh, to this legend field, but I want this performance to reflect in the y-axis. Okay, and x-axis will have the zones. So now if you see again I will need a legend. So what I need in the legend is the not performance. I think in the legend I will need zone wise data bifurcation. I'm looking for, right? So we can do that in any which way. So let's try both the things. Let us first have the legend for zone, and then let's see how does the data looks. So I'm having zone in the legend section, and now as you can see this north zone has got the highest number of values, right? We still do not know which region has got the highest number of the high performers. Okay, as we said from this column. So how do we know that which column has got high performance? There's a very simple thing that we have to do. We'll have to find this performance column, okay, and drag this performance to the filter page. So now I've dragged this. After I drag this, as you can see, we can see all the four values, and I want to see which zone has got the maximum number of high performers. I'll just select this checkbox. So now this has filtered. Now after the filter, we can see that north has got four count of high performers, and other zones have got two. Okay, so likewise we can analyze the data for other fields also. We can see which has got the highest number of average performers. So let's see, west has got the highest number of average performers, followed by north, south, and east. Let's say we want to find out which zone has got the bottom performers. So let's see, bottom performers belongs to south and west. Okay, north again is doing really good here also. So these are the insights that we can draw. Okay, the data, I mean the visualization you can create in whichever way you want, right? If you want to find out the bottom performance, you can do that. Same for the low performance again. South is at the top, and that means south has got the highest number of low performers. So what I will do, I'll stick to what I needed. What I needed is the high performers. Okay, and as you can see, north has got the high performers. So this is something we are clear on this now. Now let's try one more thing. So in this visual, we have added zone into the legend section. What we will do, I'll just try to have performance in the legend section. So I'll just remove this zone from the legend section and have performance. Then let's see how does the visual look. Okay. I think we had done the filtering, so I will have to select all. Okay, now we have selected all. Now we have a much better clarity. Okay, we can see that when it comes to average performers, um, so west is at the top. When it comes to the, so let's do one thing. This is a little small, right? So what we can do is we will make this better. Now I think it should look no little better now. So if you have a look at this visual now, we can see that low performers, right? Low performers are maximum found in the north and south. High performers again are found in the bottom performers, this is for average performers. Okay. So now based on this data, we can analyze, we can see that maximum, we can see for each category how is the data for low performers, for high performers, then for the bottom performers and average. So we know everything now, right? So let's do one thing. I think this table, or let's say this visual gives a better idea as regarding the performance of the style advisors of all the regions. What I will do, I'll just format this one. How do I format this? Click on this, go to this section, format your visual. X-axis, let's say the font should be 12. I want to make it bold. As you can see, this has become 12 and bold now. If you want to change a color, change the color. If you are okay, let's keep it like that. Okay, so title, let's keep this as it is. I'll make it bold. Okay, now let's say I want to do the formatting for this visual. How do I do that? Click on the visual and go to this format visual tab. Click on x-axis. Let's do the formatting for x-axis. I want the font size to be 12. Okay, font name remains same. Then for y-axis, I will do title for the x-axis. I'll keep this as auto and make this bold. Okay, this we can see zone is the title. Okay, y-axis, again I need not make much changes. I'll do the same formatting, 12, and make it bold. Okay, again no more changes here. The next is title. Again I will not make any change, just make it bold. As you can see, this has become bold now for title for y-axis. If we talk about legend, I think it would look better if we keep this to the top right side. So I'll just move this to the top right side. As you can see, the legend has moved to the top right side. The next thing that I want to do is text. I'll make it 12 and make it bold. Color I do not want to change. Again, title, performance. Okay, no problem. I am okay with this. What else is there? Zoom slider. Do we need this? I don't need this. Grid line. I don't think we need the grid line. Columns. If you want, if you I feel that bottom performer and low performer both have got similar kind of a color, so I'll select a different color for the bottom performers. Let's say I select this one. Then I think we can easily distinguish between these colors. Let's say for the low performers, I want a different color. How do I do that? Can just select this color, and then let's see how does it look. Okay, doesn't look very attractive, but I mean I leave it to you guys. Okay, how do you want the visual to look? Okay, so I'm okay with this now. I'll keep this, and yeah. So this looks okay to me. Okay, so now this is how we have, this is now we can create the first label. It's just one thing. If you see the visuals, sorry, this x-axis, this is not bold, so I'll just make this bold. So I'll make this bold. Okay, this looks better now. So now I've done the formatting for this visual, but this is still not done. Okay, one thing is still there. Okay, we just performed the formatting for the visual in this tab. If you go to this third tab, just 1 minute. Okay, so so now we have performed formatting for the visual option. Okay, now let's go to the general button, and if you click on this button, you will see that properties, position. Now if you want to make the changes, you can do that. Okay, but let's say I just want to focus on this count of performance by zone, count of performance by zone and performance. Okay, So this is a count. Okay, so what I will do, I'll make this bigger. You can change the name of the visual as well. Okay, let's say if you want to name something else, let's say I want to rename this to style advisor performance by zone. So let's say I want this as a title for this graph, and then I've made the font size to 25. I'll make it bold and keep it to the center. Background, in case you want to do that, you can change. Otherwise, I'll just change the text color to this one. Okay, okay, I'll just there's small correction required. Style advisor. Okay, perfect. Effect header icons. Okay, I don't think any further changes are required. So this is how the graph looks like now after we make the changes. Okay, so now we have created the first visual. I'll just copy the same name, that style advisor performance by Zoom. Now we will think about the second visual that we want to create. Let's just see what is the second visual that we want to create. Mm, let us just go through the columns once again, and let's find out, instinctively what is it that we can do. See, we can analyze the evaluation score anytime, right? Because this is something that also tells a lot about the performance. Okay, so what we can do is we can analyze the evaluation score also. Okay, so let's do that. Yeah, it won't take much time. What we have to do is, again, first of all, you need to select the chart. Let's get started with the column chart. Later on we can make it something else. So I'm just selecting this column chart again. I need zone, and then, as I said, in this column, which is evaluation scores, I want to see which zone has got the better evaluation score. Or let's say we can do one thing here. Okay, based on the evaluation score, we can categorize whether the evaluation score is good or not, or whatever, and based on that also you can do the analysis. Okay, okay, so let's say the next analysis that let's find out what is the next analysis that we can do based on these columns. Store ambience, first impression, discovery, recommendations, trial experience, objection handling, closure and care, overall experience. So we can do one thing. Okay, what we can do is add we can add the values. These are this we can add the values in these columns and summarize them, and then we can evaluate region wise based on the sum of these values. Okay, so what is the first thing that we have to do? Let's say store ambience, first impression, all these columns. Let's say if we want to um, add and create a new column. So first of all, we'll have to create a new column for the uh, overall summary of the scores. So what I need is a new column. So I'll just click on this new column option here. For the next visual, what we want to do is, let's say there are ratings given for all these parameters: first impression, discovery, recommendation, trial experience and upsell, objection handling, closure and care. Right? For all these ratings, what we will do is we will, for every single, we'll create a new column. Okay, create a new column, something like overall ratings, and add these values, find the average, and then based on that average, we will analyze that if we talk about the overall rating, which region, which city, which state is doing uh, the better performance, so that we can do. So that would be our second visual. How do we do that? What we can do is we can go back to the Power Query. Now in Now let's say within Power Query, I do not want this particular column, so I'll just right click and remove this column, okay? And rather I want a new column that tells us, because this column makes no sense, that's why we have to delete it, okay? Now, let's say we want a new column that tells us overall ratings, okay? So I'll just right click or go to the add column option and create a custom column. Let's call this column overall ratings, okay? Overall ratings. So what do we need in this column? So as I said, we need remarks for store ambience. So I will take store ambience, then I will add it with mm, first impression, then we will need a discovery also. Okay, after the discovery is added, what do we need? Recommendation, trial and okay, so I'll add recommendation, then trial and experience and upsell. Objection handling, so objection handling, just 1 minute. Objection handling, closure and query, these are the only two pending now, so I can take plus I can just click on this objection handling or double click on this, and then finally what I need is closure and care, so I took this one also. Now let us see what is the count of these many columns. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So what I will do, I will put this in bracket and divide it by 7 so that we get the average of all, okay? So I'll click OK. This should create a new column with average for all the rows. Now if you see in the overall ratings, okay, first row has got 51, 86, 71. These are the average ratings if we calculate the average for all these parameters. Now I do not want so many decimals, okay? So what I will do, this needs to be changed to 2 decimals, I think, or let's say even if we don't have it in the decimal, that should be fine. So what I will remove, uh, change the type to whole number. Now this looks better, okay? Now we have the column created. Now we can perform the analysis. So I will again go back to Power BI desktop. So close and apply. Let's create a new visual. Now we can create the visual. Let us first think about, okay, what kind of visual we want. So we can simply have the column chart, maybe. Let's try. And what we need is, again, we need uh, zone. Then what we need is, there was a column that we created newly, which is overall ratings. So I will just take this column. Okay. Now overall ratings is the next column, x-axis. Okay, this is something, there is something wrong with this. So x-axis we need in the zone, we need in the x-axis. So I'll take zone here and rating here. Sorry, my bad. Zone in the x-axis. Sorry. So what I want to do here is I want overall ratings in the y-axis, and I want zone in the x-axis. So I'll just copy zone to x-axis. This is zone. This is x-axis. And I'm sure now you know what we should have in the legend section. That because we want to based on the legend only it will. So I will need zone in the legend. Okay, but and let's have it for clustered bar chart. As we can see with this data, North has got the highest number of uh, ratings, but this is not fair because this does not have the average. Because obviously the number of rows for North region are highest, so it will definitely have the overall rating count would obviously be more on the higher side for the North region, right? So what we need to do is here that on the uh, what we need to do here is to this overall rating, you just need to click on this small button and convert this from sum to average so that we get fair idea as to which region has got the maximum ratings. Okay, now let's observe this closely how it is changing. Currently it is north, west, south, east. Again it is north, west, east, south, so there is a slight change in here. So south becomes the lowest in terms of performance, and you can see that north has got still the highest rating. Second rank is west with 71, then we have east with 70, and finally lowest is south with 66.56 ratings. Now let's quickly do one thing that we can format this visual. Okay, I see there is a reason I want to have these simple visuals in the beginning. Later on we'll try out different visuals also. So let's format this quickly. Again, how do you format this? Just click on this visual, go to this format visual tab, y-axis 12, bold, title should be fine. Just make this bold, and we can maybe do one thing, make this 15, and for x-axis let's do the same things. Okay, make this 12, bold, so this looks better now. Then again we have a title, so let's make this title as 15 and bold. Okay, average overall rating, and finally okay, this is good. uh, Data labels, let's enable the data labels, and data labels options, auto position. So position we want, let's say inside. Okay, values again make this 12. So you will get used to this. Okay, uh, I mean the more you do, you'll more comfortable you'll get with these things. And okay, other things looks okay to me. In the bars option, if you see this spacing should be fine with this. If you want some different color, you can do that. You can have a different color. So maybe I want this one, so I'll go ahead with this one. Okay, and okay, okay, this looks okay. Now, what is it that we need? I think one thing is missing, and that is a what do we say? If you click on this visual, uh, legend is missing. Okay, so again, I leave it to you. If you want the legend, if you want the legend, you can have it. If you don't want it, that's fine. Okay, even if you have the legend here, it would be zone only, of course. So this is how it would look. I want this without any legend, so I'll keep it like this only. And this becomes the second visual. But one last thing is there, which we are not done. Go to General tab, go to Properties, Title. Let's make this 25. Okay, make this bold. Text color should be uniform, so I'll just keep it the way it is there for the first visual. Make it move it to the center, and I think we are now ready with the second visual. Okay, so this way we can keep on creating the visuals and analyze the data. In the next section, also, we will further analyze the data. Thank you so much.